89.3 and 88.5 Yes FM. Online at www.yeshome.com. Now on the free Yes FM iTunes app and the Yes FM Android app. Or the free TuneIn Radio app. Search Yes FM Lima.
One of the artists on Winter Jam is Plumb. We've got her on the phone line right now. Hi, Plumb. How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Understand you guys are you still in Pennsylvania today at another show?
Yes, in Pennsylvania right now.
Excellent. So how have things been going on Winter Jam for you?
It's a blast. It's just a blast. It's a fun, wonderful, huge, massive, exciting thing to be a part of, and it's something everybody should check out. Even if you don't know any of the artists or love any of the artists that are playing, it's an inexpensive ticket for a really entertaining evening, and it's really family friendly, and I feel certain you would walk away saying, you know what, I actually like this one or that one, and you have the chance to, hang out with the artist afterwards in the lobby, and so you might like all 10, you might just like one, but I love how they've made it really affordable and family friendly that you can come, and again, if you're not even there to see one specific artist, it's just a fun evening. It's a fun event to be a part of.
It's one of the things we appreciate about a Winter Jam is there's usually something for everyone. So, you can walk in with teenagers or little ones or moms and dads, and everybody's there, and they're happy. It's a good thing.
Yeah, there really is, even down to, elderly. I'm being completely honest that, some of the things that are said from stage and some of the tour sponsors and things like that, there are certain things that are said, and even the speaker, that is relevant to people even of an older, demographic. So if you're bringing your, teenage granddaughter, there's still going to be something there for you. So I think that they've done a really good job making there something for everybody.
And is this your first one, the first one you've ever participated in?
Well, I did the West Coast dates in November. There were 10 of those. And,
okay.
And now we are, on the east side of the U.S. part of this. So this is my first Winter Jam, though, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. And who are some of your favorite bands that you've been able to, interact with and hang out on the tour? Who's somebody maybe you've really connected with?
I would say that the top connection and just, when I say that, too, of just potential collaborations as well, is from Lecrae and TFK and 10th Avenue North. I think those are the three that, it's almost like being at school and you're walking in the lunchroom and you're wondering who you're going to sit with. And everybody seems to get along and like each other. There's really no real competitive nature about it, but we've been most drawn to the 1,000-Foot Crutch guys and to Lecrae and the 10th Avenue North boys. So that's usually where we're sitting at the lunch table. But yeah, everybody's great. Everybody really is.
So you performing, what's your show looking like? Because you've been at this for a while. So Winter Jam, as far as the performance side of it, what's that been like for you? The goal of Plumb, I think, from the first concert until now that I've ever done is wanting it to be more of an experience, that you're not just seeing another live artist play music and you're like, oh yeah, that was okay or good or great, but that you're just different. After you see our set, you're just different, whether you're seeing us play a song at an event or coming to a headlining tour where we play for an hour and a half, or you just see us on Winter Jam for 15 or 20 minutes, that there's just something different that happens in you when you finish watching. And I don't know if you're more conflicted inside or you're inspired or you're frustrated or you're, excited, you have more hope, just that you're different. And it's not just about seeing a live musical performance, but rather an experience. Your current album, Need You Now, has been out for a while. So how are things been going with the album itself?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I have no complaints about that. People are just responding in a really positive way, and that side of things, as far as, where is it on the charts? How many records has it sold? That stuff is of little to no interest of mine. I just have never been kind of hung up on that stuff. But
there's been a great response, and it just continues to be positive. So we're really excited about that.
Did you find that you had like a theme throughout the album, or was it just basically kind of a collaboration of just certain things that were on your mind that you felt inspired to write about and share with your audience?
No, I think there's a theme. There's a lyric off of one of the tracks. The track is called At Arm's Length, and there's a lyric that says, "Love is faster than a bullet. It's the perfect remedy." And Faster Than a Bullet was going to be the album title until the Sandy Hook tragedy, and we just kind of out of respect for them, we changed it to Need You Now, just because that song was actually so encouraging to so many of them. And I'm glad that we did that, but the actual message of Faster Than a Bullet that kind of bleeds through the whole record. I think love is the answer on every track. At the end of the day, love is the answer to the question in a song, and that there's just a thread of hope that runs through the whole thing to kind of keep it conducive to what I want Plumb to continue to be about.
And you had mentioned the title track, Need You Now. Can you delve a little bit more into that song? I mean, obviously, you were mentioning stuff about Sandy Hook and just a lot of, when that song came out, there was a lot of stuff going on, just within the world too, but kind of give us the story behind that song.
Well, it was inspired by like panic and anxiety attacks that I've had since I was a teenager, and just how many times that I would find myself in the high school bathroom stall just feeling like I was going to die. And just him always being faithful, God always being faithful to show up. But it kind of took on more of a deeper meaning when, like, as the writer, that's what it meant to me until I became the listener of the song. And I had went through a really dark time in my marriage, and the song meant to me what I think a listener would connect with in their darkest moment. And so I was able to it was the first time that had ever happened where I'm the writer, but I'm experiencing the song as a listener. And so, so that has, it is, to me, it's an anthem of hope. And I think hope is oxygen, and we all need to breathe. And so I think it's just it's a song that is a prayer that you scream at the top of your lungs, contrary to how we're, told about what prayer is, go into this quiet, secret place and confess your prayers and petitions. They're like, no, this is the one that you crank up in your car and scream at the top of your lungs and say, I need you right now, unlike ever before. And I think everybody has that moment, whether they're in the church or not, no matter what their feelings of religion may be, everybody kind of has those moments where you're like, oh, God, help me. And I think Need You Now is a song that connects with that.
What would you just say to somebody who maybe is going through some of the same struggles that you've dealt with, as far as just pushing through that, and maybe, have you found resolution, or are you still working on resolution? What would you say to them?
Well, I had a shirt, like a slouchy, fun sweatshirt, kind of apparel item made for Winter Jam that actually says, "There's always hope." And that's not a lyric from a song. That's not the title of the track. It's what I want people to take away. And I think even just wearing that shirt, you never know. Like how I have a shirt that says "To Write Love in Our Arms." For those familiar with that whole organization, and I don't know how many times I've worn that, and someone has said, "Man, thanks for your shirt," and then just walked off. And so I'm really excited about those shirts just being out there, of someone walking around the mall and just seeing the words, "There is always hope," because ultimately that's the message that I want sent.
Once again, we're talking to Plumb, who is on the Winter Jam Tour. They're in Pennsylvania tonight, coming to the Joe Louis Arena in Detroit on February the 22nd. Hey, Plumb, if people wanted to find out more about you, get a hold of your music, and maybe even find out more about Winter Jam, where could they go online?
Everywhere it's pretty easy to Google me, but Plumb Music is Facebook, Plumb Music is Twitter, Plumb Music is Instagram, music.net, plummusic.net. So go there and you can learn more, or you can Wikipedia it, and then you can have conflicting stories, because it seems like Wikipedia tends to have like the right information, and like a week later you'll be like, oh, I didn't know that I had a new baby. I'm just kidding. It's never been that bad, but sometimes you're like, no, that's not entirely true. Let's fix that. So.
Well, thanks for joining us today on jamtour.com, where they can find out information about Winter Jam. But I'll look forward to seeing you guys perform at Winter Jam in Detroit, and wish you all the best tonight and with the continued music.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
You have a fantastic day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, FM.